Now, goes into my next question. So tell me more about Exit Realty. So you said they started off in Canada. What was kind of their, I went on the website and I saw it's an international real estate firm. You guys have already grown dramatically from that time till now. So what's kind of the vision for Exit Realty?
Well, our goal is to build this out. We want to be dominant in North America before going anywhere else. Between Canada and the United States, we have 650 offices, about 25,000 agents.
Yeah.
And our premise is different. Number one, we were built on human potential. So we deal with the entire human being. Our biggest award is actually a bronze statue of a person carving themselves, because we believe that everybody's a work in progress always. But we also focused on everyone being part of the team, kind of a Ben and Jerry's philosophy that everyone's part of the team and everyone gets to participate and belong. So it's as if agents and brokers had a vested interest in the future of the company. So we have residual income. If I introduced you into the company and you joined as an agent, I receive the equivalent of 10% of the gross commission, up to $10,000 a year, every year for as long as you're with Exit.
Got it.
Not off your portion. So I get rewarded for the percentage of the company I help build. As good as that is, though, I can introduce anyone anywhere in the world. There's an Exit office. And so can everybody else, so that we get rewarded. And it's not multi-level marketing. It's not any type of a pyramid. It's literally, I get rewarded for my own personal efforts. But as good as that is, our founder and chairman, Steve Morris, thought about it full circle. So when I go to retire, I receive 7% of that income even in retirement. The other 3% goes to the brokerage, because we want the brokerage to have a ballast.
Of course. Yeah.
It works great for acquisitions, and 79% of the offices that are out there have 6 agents or less right now. Although we're acquiring 50 and 100 plus person offices as well. So there's a retirement component, so that they can actually retirement. But we took it a step further when we thought about people's families, and there's a beneficiary component. So if I die, 5% of that income goes to my beneficiary for as long as those people are with the company.
This is the first. I haven't heard of this model at all. There's no other brokerages?
There's no other residual program.
Anything close to this, I think.
Right.
Wow.
And so we have amazing stories of people that we've done acquisitions where these people are now retired with $250,000 a year every year, instead of just getting one flat buyout and ending up with capital gains. We've had agents that have retired because they were just ready to do that. And they've been able to not only sell their book of business, but also continue to get the residual income. Where are they going to send their referrals to, right? Who are they going to want to help? So it makes everybody, if you and I went out to dinner tonight, John, and we went to a really nice restaurant, and the waiter that waited on us did a really good job waiting on us, how much better of a job do you think they'd do if they actually had ownership in the business?
Right.
So everyone feels like they have ownership. I mean, every business should run like that, so that everybody's willing to hustle. But we went out and didn't just launch it with residual income, although that's a phenomenal component. We literally went out and said to the top producers out there, people doing 50 transactions a year or better before launching, what do you love about where you are? What don't you love? What would be your perfect world? And they said 7 things they really wanted. Number 1, they wanted leadership. So we have leadership in every direction you can possibly think of. Boots on the ground. So we have regional owners that are there, so that there's boots on the ground of somebody to help the offices grow and help sell franchises. All of us at corporate headquarters are willing to travel and go out and speak and go out and add value to everybody that's there. Number 2, they want education. So we provide education from every single level. I just got my license. Now what do I do? All the way to the consummate professional making millions of dollars.
Oh, that's great.
And we teach them about themselves. How do they think? The power of their subconscious mind. How to relate with people better. Everything to do with the mind-body connection, along with how to do better real estate. And current tense. Part of my job as CEO is to be a good forecaster, right? Third, they want help with technology. They don't want to be a technology specialist. They just want to know how to use the things that work, that help them connect. So we have a vice president of technology engagement. She speaks English, Spanish, and technology. And she teaches them, because, information without implementation equals poverty. She actually teaches them how to utilize all of the devices and the tools, so that they can actually relate and connect, and they can be with people doing their job, not worried about how they're going to figure this all out. Number 4, they want a marketing program they can track. Number 5, they want help with the details. So everything we have is one entry, user friendly. Number 6, they want image. What better image than, having a vested interest in the company and feeling like you're part of something bigger, but we also have the spirit of exit. So money out of every single transaction goes back into the communities we serve. So we've pledged more than $4 million to charity. And we have a spirit of exit program so that the agents and the broker can actually do an actual fundraiser, and exit will match the funds.
Wow.
So that we get to contribute more and we get to touch more lives in more communities.
This is
And number
such
7,
a comprehensive approach.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
And number 7, they want skin in the game, and obviously that's
Yeah.
where the residuals come in. But
Yeah.
you know, Ariana Huffington did an interview a couple of years ago. She wrote an article. It's actually probably only about a year ago. She wrote an article on corporations and that how we feel about corporations now, and that we feel like we have a responsibility to the consumer, and employees feel like we have a responsibility to focus on good health,
Yeah.
to give back to the community, to be a good corporate citizen. So dollars isn't the first piece of the equation. And the perfect example, during the pandemic, when we were sheltered in place, we didn't lay off one single person in our entire organization.
Wow.
We feel that humans are too valuable.
Yeah.
And so instead, we pulled everybody together and launched a stimulus package worth in excess of $50 million. And we provided webinars and techinars and training and everything from yoga and how you think, so that their mind was doing okay, to ramping them up so that when they hit the ground, they could hit the ground running when they came out. But we were touching them every single day, where we watched a lot of major brands lay off in droves.
20% of the workforce across the
we
board.
didn't lay off anybody, but we led by example during the recession. It was the worst recession since the Depression, and during that recession, we didn't lay anybody off then either. And as a company, and we were a really young company, we said, all right, who are we as a company? And we decided we're a company built on human potential. So we had to outsell and outthink our way out of the recession. And you know what? We made a profit every single year because we don't report to shareholders, and we don't have to have an investor say, I need to have this back. You're going to have to trust that I know what I'm doing. And because we led by example doing that, this time when the pandemic hit, and we reached out to everyone, including the person that answers the phone, said, how can I be part of the solution? Totally different mindset. And so everyone feels secure. You can't grow in a job unless you feel safe.
Agreed. You're addressing so many issues and problems that are going on in brokerage across the board. I mean, I see it even as a vendor, right, in the real estate industry. So obviously all our clients are agents and brokers, residential, commercial alike. And I see a lot of turnover. I mean, one day they're one brokerage. I'm not going to name them here. I mean, the next day they're another brokerage, right? So this is happening at scale. It seems like it's happening more frequently. No one has any sort of loyalty. Everyone has, slogans and vision, and of course they're all trying to represent technology and people and community and tie them all together. But in practice, I think that's the difference maker, right? I think that really people, when you work at a company, you can instantly understand kind of, that culture, you in the leadership and whatever even they say, you feel it when you work there. So I think, the fact that some of them only stay 6 months to a year speaks a lot to those volumes versus what you guys are doing. So that's
even people in leadership in a lot of major brands, you're seeing them only stay for a period of time
and
then walk away with a golden parachute. And instead of saying I'm dedicated to this, I honestly feel like part of my responsibility as CEO is that I'm responsible to my people. And I'm responsible to make sure that they feel like they're secure, and I'm responsible to make sure that they continue to grow.
That's great.
And I can't do that if I'm deciding to do that just on a balance sheet.